This conference
we
will
were
now
able
be
to complete
recorded.
the organizational elements configuration. So based upon the organizational elements configuration, we were trying to execute the material master creation. Okay, so any doubts on the organizational structure? Are you able to create? Do you have any queries? Okay, so if there is no queries, we can start and go ahead with the further discussion. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing regarding the material master data. Let me go to the document. Okay, so let me go to the SAP MM. Material master is very complex master data in SAP materials management. Complex means it will have a lot of importance. Means the material master will be used in every module, like whether it is a materials management module, you will be using the materials for execution of the various procurement documents. If it is a production planning module, you are also going to use the material master. If it is a warehouse management, there also you are going to use the materials master. There are various material master will be used in multiple modules. So that is the reason I can call a material master as a central master data. Okay, so yesterday we have seen various types of materials like raw materials, spare materials, and packaging materials. We also have seen what are the number ranges that are going to be defined. So I can define internal number range and I can define the external number range as well. External number range is nothing but the zigzag numbering range like this. So in this, if your material number is the external number range or externally defined number range, your system is not going to define and assign to a particular material number automatically. You need to input the details of the material number while creating the materials in SAP. But if it is the internal number range, your system is going to define automatically the number range or the coding for a particular material. Okay, so yesterday we have seen various types of materials and what are the SAP standard material types for each and every material also we have seen. So then why I am creating various material types? Why don't I use only one material type for all the materials? So what are the reasons for creating various types of material types? So the reason number one is, can anyone tell what could be the reason? So why I am creating various material types? The reason number one is, I want to identify different materials with different coding. So that is the purpose I will be creating the various types of materials. So the reason number one is identification of different materials, identification of different materials with separate coding or with unique identity coding. Huh? Item code. Material code or material number is something you can call it as the item code. But in SAP terminology, it will be a material number. So identification of different materials with unique identification code means raw materials I want to identify with one series. So let us say raw materials. I want to identify, let us say there are 10 raw materials. So I will be identifying, I am going to give the coding for the raw materials as 1000 to 2000. That means the first and foremost raw material I am going to create, it will be assigned with the number range as 1000. Let us say iron ore. Iron ore will be identified with the numbering that is 1000. Sponge iron, it will be identified with 1001. And PP granules, so this will be identified with 1002. when it comes to the spare materials, like spare materials I want to identify with one unique numbering series, that starts with 2001 to 3000. So 2001 is the, let us say, bearing, and 2002 is the motor. So like that, I want to differentiate different materials with one unique identification number. So that is the reason I am going for creation of the various material types, reasons for creating various material types. Okay, then what is the reason number 2? So this is one of the interview question, right? So if you go to any of the interview, they will ask why I am creating a different material types. So you need to explain these things. So the reason number 2 is I wanted to make one particular field. So let us say material description. One particular field, material description field. Let's say there are thousands of materials in case of the material master, but let us take one field known as the material descriptions field. So material description field, I want to make it as a mandatory field. Means that will be called as a material status. So material statuses or field status. Field status. So the field status for the material description field, I want to make it as a, for the raw materials, I want to make it as a mandatory field. For the spare materials, that is our ERSA, I want to make it as a non-mandatory field or optional. So I want to make this particular field as an optional field for the material, that is for the spare materials. And for the pack materials, I want to make it as a suppressed field. And for the trading goods, I want to make this particular field as a display field. So there are 4 types of field statuses for a particular field of a particular material master, and that particular field status for the raw materials I can make it as a mandatory, and for the ERSA I want to make it as optional. For the packaging materials I want to make it as a suppressed, and for the trading goods I want to make it as a display field. So in such cases I will go for the creation of the various material types. Okay, what is mandatory? What is the field status mandatory? What is optional? What is suppressed? And what is display? I will just show it to you. So I will go to the SAP system. I will open SAP Online. Array, SAP is not working. How to proceed for the class? Rafi is there. Can you check with him? Okay, so let me go to the other server. Okay, so I will go to the run. But here we don't have any data. Data? Okay. Okay, no problem. Okay, so I will go to the MM01 transaction code and I will select industry sector as mechanical engineering and the material type as ROH. Let us say ROH is the raw material, right? So for this particular material, I want to make material description field as a, see, this is the material description field. So I want to make this particular field as a mandatory field. What is mandatory? Mandatory means without specifying the or without mentioning the details of this particular field, my system will not allow me to go further. So that is nothing but a mandatory field. So I just click on enter button. See, it is a fill out all required or mandatory fields. So let us say if I filled over here as a bearing. So I am going to create a material known as a bearing and I will click on enter. See, now it is allowing. Also, base unit of measurement is a mandatory field or the required field. So I will mention EA. So I just mentioned EA, right? I just mentioned the base unit of measurement. 1 minute, I will again try to create. I will select multiple values. See, base unit description is the mandatory field. Also, the base unit of measurement is a mandatory field. Also, material group also a mandatory field. Means without maintaining the details of these fields, my system is not going to allow me to go further. Nothing but a required or the mandatory field. And what is the optional field? Optional is these and all the old material number, external material group. So these are optional fields. Means even though I didn't maintain any details over here, my system is accepting me to create a material. Let us say I will just click on enter. So it is going to the basic data too. That means whatever may be the fields that are available over here, these and all the optional fields. Means if you want to maintain, you maintain, or if you don't want to maintain, no need to maintain. Okay, so that is the optional field and the mandatory field. Then what is display field? What is the status of the display for a particular material master field? You see over here there is something known as you say segmentation structure. Here you see in the optional field, if I want to write something, I can write, right? So dangerous goods profile or something. So document number, I want to write it over here, I can write. But here, if you see, there is something known as the segmentation structure. So here, if I want to write anything, I will not be able to write it over here. Why? Because it is the only display field. Means it will be only for your just information purpose. If you want to maintain something, you will not be able to maintain any data over here. Why? Because it is a display purpose only. You are not going to maintain anything. But what is suppressed? Suppressed field is nothing but in the backend configuration of the material master field statuses. If I select a particular material as a suppressed, that means that particular field will not be visible in this particular screen. Means let us say dangerous goods indicator profile. In the backend configuration, if I made the dangerous goods indicator profile as a suppressor field, that means the field will be the field will be disabled from the screen itself. You will not be able to see over here. So those are the 4 statuses of a particular material master.
But display you can see what is the but you cannot enter.
Display you can see the details, but you will not be able to change. Suppressor means the field itself will be disabled from here. Okay, so those are the 4 statuses for a particular field of a material master. So for the raw materials or the spare materials, I want to make this particular field as a mandatory field, but the same field I want to make it as a suppressor to the packaging material. And for the non-stock material, I want to make it as a optional. For the stock materials, I want to make it as a suppressor. That is backend configuration. I will tell you whenever we are going to discuss that particular topic. Okay, so now these are the 4 statuses of a particular material master. You are going to use it when you are creating the backend settings of a particular material master. So the reason why I am creating various materials is, so this is the reason number 2, by using which I will be able to create the field statuses or set field statuses for a particular material master. Any doubts over here? Are you able to get it? Okay, so the reason number 3 why I am creating the material masters is reason number 3. Reason number 3 is the screen sequencing. So I want to maintain different screen sequence for the different types of materials. So screen sequencing. Screen sequence, what is screen sequencing? Let us say raw materials. Raw materials will normally be purchased by the organizations, and those materials will be utilized in the production processes, and you are going to convert those raw materials into one of the final materials. Means you are buying the raw materials into your company and utilizing them in the production processes, but not selling the raw materials to the directly to the customers. You are buying and utilizing them in the production processes, but you are not buying and directly selling to the customers. That means the raw materials, whatever the raw materials I am buying in my company, I will be activating the relevancy for the procurement. This raw material, I will make it relevant for the procurement activities. Means raw materials I am making relevant for the procurement. Means if I wanted to create a purchase order for a particular raw material, I need to make some settings for a particular raw material so that I will be able to do the procurement activity. But I am not going to maintain any settings for the sales. So no sales settings. Why? Because I am not going to do any sales activities on the raw materials. But if you see a finished material, finished materials, you are making relevancy for the procurement activities. So finished materials are relevant for procurement activities. But finished materials also relevant for the sales activities. You are selling, right? You are producing the air conditioner as a finished material and selling to the customers in the organization. So I will be making finished materials relevant for sales. Okay, so relevancy for the sales. So raw materials I am making relevant for the procurement, but I am not making them for the sales. Finished materials I will be making for the procurement as well as relevant for the sales. So this is the reason I am going to create different material types. So I want to make it relevant, say, specific to the activities I am performing on that particular material. So that is the reason I will be creating materials, different materials in the materials management module. Then what is the reason number 4? Reason number 4 is the price control indicator or the valuation. I want to evaluate raw materials and the spare materials at one of the price control indicator known as a moving average price control indicator. So evaluation of materials, like raw materials, spare materials, and packaging materials is based on price control indicator V. V is nothing but a moving average price indicator. MAP. MAP is nothing but moving average price. So raw materials, spare materials, and the packaging materials, I want to evaluate based upon the price control indicator V. V is nothing but a moving average price. But when it comes to the finished materials and the semi-finished materials, like FERT is the finished material and semi-finished materials are HALB. So I want to evaluate finished materials and semi-finished materials based upon the price control indicator known as S. S is nothing but a S is nothing but a moving average, and there is one more thing. S is nothing but a standard price. Okay, standard price control indicator. So what is moving average price? What is standard price? We will see. But if I want to evaluate different materials with a different price control indicators, we need to create different material types. So what is moving average price? What is standard price? We will see when we are discussing the material master.
The evaluation is what is
Huh?
evaluation.
Evaluate means pricing, right? You say you purchased one motor. What is the value of the motor? 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees? So that is nothing but a valuation. So normally in your company you are buying thousands of materials, right? So you need to, at any moment of time, you need to evaluate or valuate. Valuate means total value of the inventory. So total value of the inventory will be 8 crores or 10 crores or 15 crores or 20 crores. So that is nothing but a valuation. So when it comes to the any ERP package, so whatever may be the materials that are available in your company or the warehouse, you need to valuate them so that you will be able to control the inventories of the materials. Means every company will have some norms, right? They will say, okay, I want to keep a inventory of the raw materials in my company, maximum 5 crores worth. So how you will come to know you have the 5 crores or 10 crores? You need to do the valuation of the each and every material. Then only you will be able to control. So that is nothing but a valuation. Then reason number 5. Reason number 5 of the creating different material types. So the reason number 5 is I want to maintain different valuation class. Maintain different valuation class. Valuation class for different materials. Like for raw materials, I want to maintain a valuation class as 3000. For the semi-finished materials, I want to maintain the valuation class as 7900. For the finished material or the semi-finished materials, I want to maintain a valuation class of 7920. And for the spare materials, I want to maintain the valuation class as 3040. Okay, but what is valuation class? Valuation class is acting as a bridge between the SAP Materials Management module and the finance module. So SAP is the integrated package, right? when I say integrated package, if I do some transactions in the materials management module, it will have implications at the finance module. So let us say if I post a goods receipt against a raw material, so whatever may be the goods receipt related transactions or the entries that I did it in the SAP materials management module will have the implications at the finance module. So how a SAP materials management will be getting connected to the finance module? It will be happen via the one of the intermediate thing known as the valuation clause. So valuation clause is acting as a bridge between the SAP materials management module and the SAP finance module, so that I will be able to post the transactions at the finance module whenever I do some activity in the SAP materials management. So how the valuation clause is going to be acting as a bridge, and what are the mandatory settings that we need to do so that the finance and the materials management will have the connectivity. So those things we are going to discuss in our coming sessions. But for this particular session, you just keep it in your mind. One of the main difference to create different material types is to maintain different valuation classes for different materials. Also, I want to post the finance side the different GL accounts. Let us say if I did some transaction at by using the material type raw materials. So whatever may be the transactions I did it for the raw material, it will be posted at a separate GL account at the finance side. Let us say it will be posted for a GL account for 4 lakhs. And if I post a transaction in the material management module for the finished material, it will hit the GL account 4 lakhs 1 at the finance side. If I do any transaction for HILB, it will hit a 4 lakhs 2. This is the GL account at the finance side. If I do any activity, it will hit 4 lakhs 3.
Like for each material, there will be one GL.
Yes.
Analysis.
Fixed means you need to maintain the backend configuration. Accordingly, it will hit. Okay, so this is the one of the most important reason why I am creating a different materials. So I want to maintain the different valuation class for each material type, and I want to post a different GL accounts at the finance side for the different materials.
Hello.
Okay, then what
Sir,
is
am I
reason
audible?
number 6? So reason number 6 is the valuation category. So I want to maintain different valuation category for different materials. Maintain different valuation category, right? So what is valuation category? Valuation category is nothing but in SAP materials management, you are going to hear about valuation every time. Valuation is nothing but the total value of the material is nothing but a valuation. Let us say in my company or the manufacturing plant, I have 1000 materials. If somebody asked what is the total value of the materials, you will say 8 crores or 10 crores. That is nothing but a valuation. So what is valuation category? Valuation category is nothing but a parameter based upon which you are going to evaluate the materials. There are multiple parameters, okay, based upon which you are going to evaluate the materials. One parameter is the origin of the product. Let us say there is one bearing. There is one bearing. I am buying this particular bearing from the domestic market, means locally. So let us say I am buying this particular material from the domestic market. So if I buy this particular material from the domestic market, it will cost 1000 rupees, let us say. So same bearing I can buy it from the international market, or I can import, right? If I am importing from any of the other country, it will have 1500 rupees per piece. So here I am going to evaluate the same bearing with one of the parameter as the place from which I am trying to buy. If I buy from the domestic market, I can say I am buying at the rate of 1000 rupees. If I am buying from the international market, can say I am evaluating this particular material at the rate of 1500 rupees. So what is the parameter based upon which I am evaluating the materials over here? The parameter is the origin of the product or the country from which I am trying to buy. So one of the parameter is origin. I can say origin or the country from which I am buying, right? So the parameter by using which I will be evaluating the materials over here is the origin of the country from which I am trying to buy the materials. Then there can be other parameter as well. So other parameter is the procurement type. So I can say there is one more parameter known as the procurement type, based upon which I can evaluate the materials. What is procurement type? There are two types of procurement types. One is in-house produced material. In-house produced material. And second procurement type is the externally procured material. So in-house produced material means, let us say air conditioner, right? Air conditioner. In my company, I am producing the air conditioner and selling it to the customers. So nothing but a procurement type of this particular air conditioner is a in-house produced material. Also, you can buy the air conditioners, right? In summer season, what will happen? In your company, you will be able to produce only 30,000, but the demand is 60,000. So what you will do? You will buy the air conditioner from any one of the other vendor and sell it to the customer. So that is nothing but a externally procured material. So you have two types of procurement types. You can produce in-house. Also, you can procure from the external vendors. So one of the parameter which I will be using to do the valuation of a particular material is the procurement type. If you produce the air conditioner in your house or the company, let us say it will cost 25,000, but the same material or the air conditioner, if you are procuring from the external vendors, it may be a 30,000. So based upon the type of procurement, so the valuation or the prices of the materials will vary. So one material, let us say bearing, can be a valuation category of the origin, but air conditioner, if I am creating in my manufacturing SAP with the material type as FERT, so I can consider procurement type as a in-house produced or externally procured, or the valuation category as a procurement type. So if you want different materials to be selected for different valuation categories, so you need to create different material types in SAP. Okay, so these are the, also we have valuation class and the price control indicator. The main things are these things. Valuation class is one of the very much important topic, or the one of the important parameter why I am creating the different material types. Also, the valuation category is one of the important differentiator why I am creating the various material types. Also, the price control indicator. So raw materials and the spare materials you are going to evaluate at the moving average price, and finished materials you are going to evaluate at the standard price. Okay, all these reasons are very, very important, right? All 6 reasons are very, very much important why you are creating a different materials in SAP materials management module. All reasons are important only. All 6 reasons you should be able to explain in the interviews so that the interviewer will get satisfied.
Why,
Sir?
Moving average price, but before that you just need to understand what is moving average price. What is standard price?
Sir?
Moving average price means, let me tell you. Okay, spare material, right? Spare material. Or let us take, I will take raw material. So what is the raw material? You have one iron ore is raw material, right? So iron ore is the individual material. It is not mix up of 10 or 20 different materials. So it is the individual material. But if you take air conditioner is a finished material. Means if somebody asked what is the value of the air conditioner, right? Air conditioner is not a individual material. It will be mix of some 10 different components. So let us say air conditioner, if I take, you have compressor, you have condenser, and you have some fan, something like that. There are some 30-40 different individual materials are there. By using these individual materials, you are going to assemble the air conditioner. But here it is an individual material, iron ore. So if somebody asks what is the per ton value of the iron ore, I will say it is 15,000 rupees. Straightforward. But if somebody asks what is the air conditioner price, then I will say, I will do the calculation of, let us say compressor is 10,000 rupees, condenser is 5,000, fan is 2,000. So the total I will be totaling out over here, and I will be explaining that my air conditioner value is 17,000 rupees. So if you want to evaluate iron ore, you can directly evaluate based upon the iron ore. That's it. But if you want to evaluate a air conditioner, you need to do the summation of these 3 components. Okay. Also, the prices of the compressor is getting and condenser is getting changed, and the fan is getting changed on the monthly basis. So in the month of April, I will have a air conditioner price 17,000 rupees. But when it goes to the May, maybe my compressor price might have increased to 12,000 rupees. Condenser is 5,000 and fan is 2,000. So in the month of May, my air conditioner will be a total value of 19,000 rupees. So my finished product value is getting adjusted based upon the individual component prices. It can be 17,000 in April, but it can be 19,000 in the May. Why? Because I have various individual components included in it. So based upon the individual components, I am going to total it out the finished product air conditioner. But here also there is a price variance. It will be there is also a fluctuations. But here the price is based upon only one material. There is no individual materials included in it. Okay. So that is the reason for the raw materials I will be selecting the moving average price, and for the finished product I will be selecting the standard price indicator. Okay, what is moving average price? Moving average price is nothing but, let us say in my company I have raw materials of 1,000 stock today morning. I have 1,000 pieces. So each piece is let us say 20 rupees. In my company today morning I have a raw material iron ore of 1,000 numbers. Each piece value is 10 rupees. So what is the total inventory value? It is 10,000. Again, afternoon, I received a fresh material of iron ore of 1000 numbers again. So, but I received these 1000 numbers at the rate of 15 rupees per ton. So, what is the inventory value of this 1000 numbers? It will become 15,000. So, then what is the total inventory within my company? Huh? Total inventory is 1000 I received over here and 1000 I received. So, I have a total inventory 2000. Okay, so earlier I have a value of 10,000 and later I have received 15,000. Then what is the total inventory value? It will be 10,000 plus 15,000. It will be a 25,000. Okay. Then what is the, as per the moving average price calculations, what is the average price per ton of the iron ore? It will be 25,000 by the total 2,000. It will be 12.5 rupees. So it is automatically getting calculated, the moving average price. But in case of the air conditioners, so such type of calculation is not happening. But at each and every month, so there is one thing known as the standard cost estimate program. So standard cost estimate program will be executed by the production planning module department. Once they executed the standard cost estimation program, so the total value of the compressor air conditioner will be automatically getting calculated like this. So which is nothing but a standard cost estimate. Okay, you will come to know what is standard cost estimate, what is the moving average price concept in detail when you are executing the scenarios. Okay, so then what, 1 minute, I am getting one call. Hello. Hello. ఏ ఊరు నుంచి చెప్పండి. Okay, so hello. Okay, so this is some overview about the moving average price and the standard price. Okay, so this is one of the main reason why you are going to create different material types in SAP materials management. Okay, so any doubts on this? Any doubts on
Sir,
this?
Sir, can you explain reason number 5 G by L?
That you will come to know. Now you will not be able to understand, but for the time being, you just keep it in your mind. I want to post different GL accounts at the finance side. This you will come to know when you are doing the goods receipt process. Okay, but for now you just keep it in your mind. I want to post the transactions at the finance side separately specific to the material type. Means for the raw materials, if I post any transaction, it should hit the GL account 4 lakhs at the finance side. If I post
So
a
it is
transaction
created.
for
It is created by finance department or it is created by MM department.
MM plus finance people both will be involved in doing these configurations or settings. You need to do the settings, only it will be hit.
Okay.
Okay,
Sir.
so now what is the configuration that we need to do perform as a part of material master? Okay, what configurations we need to do it before going for the creation of the material master? So the configurations we need to do it is we need to create material types. Create material type. You can use SAP standard material types like ROH, VERP, etc. But if you want to create your own material type, you can create your own material type. And you need to create number ranges for the materials. For materials, then once the material type and the number ranges are created, then you need to assign number ranges for material types. Okay, so you need to create material types. You can use ROH or any of the standard material types, but if you want to create new material types, you can create new material types as well. Like I want to create ZROH, or I want to create ZFERT. So I can create my own material types by taking the SAP standard material types as a copy functionality and do it. Also, you need to create the number ranges. Like in number ranges, as we discussed, there are two types of number ranges. One is internal number range and external number range. Okay, so internal number range is nothing but it is the numbering will be in a sequential manner, like 1000, 1001, like that. It is a sequential manner where your system will be automatically defining and assigning the numbers to the materials which you are trying to create. So auto assignment of number to materials by system. But here external number range, system is not going to define the number. Instead, you need to input the number based upon your requirement. So manual input of numbers, number
Which one is better, sir?
by user. We both can be used. Mostly the external number range will be used in the companies. Okay, by having the external number range, you can define your own material number. So mostly external number range will be used in the companies, not internal number range. Okay, so once the material types and the number ranges are created, then we are going to make a relationship between the material type and the number range. Okay, so where we are going to do this particular configuration? We are going to do this particular configuration under, I will go to the SPRO transaction code. I will go to the SAP reference implementation guide, and you see there is something known as a logistic general. So there is something known as logistic general. So logistic general and material master, basic settings, material types, and define attributes of the material types. So here, this is the transaction code where you are going to define the different material types. So I want to create a raw material. So I will take SAP standard raw material type as a reference, and I can create my own material type. Okay, so these things we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. So tomorrow is Saturday, right? So Saturday, I think HANA concepts, right? So at what time you will be fine? 7 to 8. Okay, so but other people, I am not sure. Okay, 7:30 to 8:30. 7:30 to 8:30, fine. Why? Because other people, there are so many people. There are some people who will be joining from Germany. So for them, it's quite early. So 7:30 to 8:30 we can have. Okay, so we can discuss these things in the coming sessions. How to create a material number, how to create the material type, etc. Based upon that, we are going to create the material masters. Okay, so tomorrow 7:30 to 8:30 there will be a HANA concepts class will be there. So you please try to join that particular class. So no class at 6:30, but we are going to meet at 7:30.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, then I will be sharing the link, or you can use the previous class link, same link, but the
Sir,
timing will be 7.
can you send me this Excel sheet? So,
Excel sheet I already shared, right? So I will share it to you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay then.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Okay then, bye bye.